Hey friends, let's talk for a minute about pork and the dilemma of declining demand. I'm coming at you from the Minneapolis St. Paul airport. Just this afternoon, I delivered a presentation to a group of large scale hog farmers. It was hosted by Swine Vet Center that hired me to come in and talk. And one of my topics that I've been on a little bit here lately is the dilemma of declining demand. Just give you a couple of quick numbers. We slaughter about 2.3 to 2.5 million fat hogs per week here in the United States, about 130 million pigs per year. 30% of that pork gets exported to foreign countries. We have become amazing at producing pork. In fact, 25 years ago, we were a net importer of pork, importing almost 20% of what we consumed. Now we export 30% of what we make. Hence the 50% increase from 25 years. We're really good at making pigs. You know what? That's good as long as there's more pigs being eaten, but there's not. Here at home, we're still hanging around 50 pounds of pork consumption per year, per American. The problem? Gen Z and millennials are not as big of pork consumers as baby boomers or Gen X like me. We've made up this difference by finding export markets. Here's the tough part about that. Brazil also wants to be a big player in pork. The European Union has a lot of pork production, and China produces 50% of the globe's pork. That's right. That one country is the biggest pork producer and consumer. They don't even export, they eat everything they make. Where am I going with this? Well, if we are in an era of declining demand and we just keep getting better and better at pork production, companies like Swine Vet Center that I was just with, they go out and consult and help producers get more efficient, use less environmental degradation to make the pork that we eat. The problem is we keep getting better at making pork and we only have so much demand. This is the dilemma for all of agriculture because we're really good at making stuff. So what's going to happen? We can't keep finding foreign markets to find this stuff because the foreign market's pretty much getting, well, satisfied. And then we have this demand problem at home. If we're not eating 50 pounds of pork per American per year moving forward, what's that mean? Well, that means that we're going to have to adjust supply. This can be done through government intervention, like we're happening in, well, Canada, where they have supply management of eggs, poultry, or milk, or it can happen through economic tumult. Unfortunately, we'll see players exit the business, lack of profitability. The last 2 years actually were not very good for pork, and now they're making a little bit of money. Will this be the continued cycle? That's the issue of declining demand, and we're going to see more and more of it because unfortunately we're amazing at making things like pork in the United States of America, but we're only going to have so many pounds of it that can be consumed. And also, if you have a demographic change or even a socio change where folks just decide they're not going to use much pork, it means that something's going to give. Damian Mason talking to you about a dilemma that's going to be facing, I think, several commodities in the business of agriculture. Until next time.